Mitosis. It is a game that has been a trend and is still active, but cases of abuse by admin abuse are not the exception. But that is what took it from being at the top to being one of the games that is even abused by admins and currently has little maintenance, both in updates and in the community. So today I bring you a couple of cases of abuse by admin within the game. Well, to put them a little in context, I am going to tell what Mitosis was like from its beginnings to how it is currently and its community. For anyone that no have idea what is Mitosis or not played that game. Mitosis is a multiplayer online game where players control a small cell in a petri dish and aim to grow by absorbing smaller cells while avoiding being absorbed by larger ones. It's an eat or be eaten style game, similar to other popular multiplayer games like Agar.io. The game at its first week the game was published was a total success. So much YouTubers from that time playing and promoting the game started making updates monthly bringing game modes actually can see, and it was seen that at that time they put a lot of effort into the game. All good, no? So what happened for the game to go from being one of the most played games to currently still being abused by the administrator? Everything was going well until one day they decided to add a game mode called tournaments. People started playing to see who could come in first place. Everything was normal, right? In 2018, a user who was capable of being the administrator of the game uploaded a recording in which we can see a Mitosis tournament, where administrators began to give themselves mass in the middle of the game so that they could be first place. In this case the user managed to record one, and this was one of the biggest YouTubers at that time, and we can catalog that this was the first case of admin abuse within the game. The community began to realize this, and here one of the largest Mitosis declines would begin. People began to leave the game. Others began to adapt to the change, and the game from there began to get worse. Something called toxicity was being created, which today you live day by day within the game. Or you can see it on YouTube, but I will explain it later. The game every time making less and less effort towards the game and bringing less stuff to the game. But if you think that this was all, then let me tell you that no, the game, as I had said, began to bring fewer and fewer updates to the point of reusing armor textures, limiting itself to only bringing equipment and some other new features. The administration of Mitosis every time was getting worse. The administration in Mitosis was getting worse. Now not only were they given mass in a single game mode, but in many more. Starting in 2018 a user uploaded a video where an abuse could be clearly seen here from admin. Although who knows, there could be more cases like this, but maybe people were not able to record. The user who recorded this video, called Slygorum MTG, currently cannot be found on YouTube, but a person managed to re-upload that same video to his channel. The video has 3 languages: English, Portuguese, and Spanish. In the video at the beginning it tells us that the one who was the first to have administrator privileges within the game was Bubbleballs. Who is Bubbleballs? Well, he was a famous YouTuber who uploaded Agar.io videos with some editing that currently he doesn't upload videos, but because he says that he was the first to have abuse from admins. Well, the context is that at that time the administrators, or well, Andrea, didn't know what to do with the game, since people were realizing that they were doing the same. Administrators, and they began to pay YouTubers to promote the game on their YouTube channel, and one of them was Bubbleballs, and at that time he made 2 promotional videos of Mitosis on his YouTube channel. But although it may seem strange, I am in favor a little of this. Because well, he made good content about IO in addition to generating enthusiasm for those who were fans of Bubbleballs and played Mitosis. Then in the video he tells us to observe 4 people. Most of them were YouTubers, all friends of Leandro or Mongosis. What a coincidence, no? And in fact, this was recorded in the same room as the greatest creator of Mitosis. At that time he was already an administrator within the game. We can see that the player who recorded this is trying to be eaten by one of those who told us to pay attention. Then he tells us to look at this player called Psychodriller. Then he goes to a corner and we observe that he puts mass on himself game. Then he tells us to look at this user and clarifies that he does not have armor. Because he clarifies this, well, look what happens next. What is now in public in Mitosis, and anyone can access this. You can see that this user had a lot before it was made public, and it was that you could have more auto speed than the best armor in the game of that time. In addition to that, they could have the same in distance. Then he tells us to observe in this part. This is a player who barely has any armor. And then one with superimposed speed appears and does something that we currently see every day in mitosis. And I will explain it later, and then we can see that he claims that they have speed, and the video ends with a message saying what is currently happening today in mitosis. And here would be the straw that broke the glass of water for the entire mitosis community. The game was starting to become more and more toxic to the point of being almost unplayable. YouTubers were starting to get tired of the game and leave, just leaving people who try to be YouTubers but only bring toxicity and more toxicity to the game. And the community on YouTube began to become more and more toxic, except for a few of them. They still walk in the game. The people who were from he was realizing that more and more administrators began to do these practices, and they were beginning to leave little by little. Then some people began to have the same behavior as the administrators, little by little infecting the people who played mitosis and adapting that same character. The game literally began to bring nothing to the game, only paying the players rankings in money, literally. If you bought coins in the game and you continue buying currently, let me tell you that you are supporting them to continue with the administrators practice the same thing, and you support a creator who has little or no interest in the game. Imagine this. A kid 8 years old plays the game in one of his game modes, and find a guy like this. He got a heart attack. They are currently trying to bring new things to the game, but they don't even succeed. Adding or using textures to the game and adding some other function. Literally, if you compare Runiverse, another game that the company has released, you will see that just by looking at the menu or something else it looks superior to mitosis. They put more effort into it, and I have not tried the game. 2 years later a similar case would be seen, but in one of the mitosis games. But this could be a case of multi-account, because back then you could have infinite multi-accounts for those who knew the trick. Not like now when the maximum is only 4 accounts. But seeing all this could be considered old. Why old? Well, because in the middle of 2024 the case is repeated, but in a different way, and there are cases where people obtain the YouTuber tag but without the prerequisites. Well, to put a little in context, many years ago a tag was implemented, and this could be achieved based on some requirements on your YouTube channel to have the tag. This tag was called YouTuber. At the beginning 100k visits were needed, or a channel with 5k followers. Over time the creator realized that fewer and fewer people were playing. The videos were becoming less and less viral. The requirements were becoming more and more difficult. They decided to lower the requirements in half. And then currently the requirements are 35k views of mitosis on your channel, or 1k of subs and 10k views of mitosis on your YouTube channel. Well, now the problem is that people without the requirements are getting the tag. You could say, illegal, the YouTuber Fuxwarp. I say YouTuber, because he can practically have the tag on his YouTube channel, but the administrators have decided not to give him the tag because according to what they say his channel does not have mitosis visits. And he could have passed me screenshots of the conversation he had with the support. Well, he sent me a recording of 2 guys who have the YouTuber tag but their channels do not meet the requirements. One who has barely 16 followers and does not even meet the primary requirements, and another who barely has 15 followers. And was able to have a conversation with these guys and even asked if they were administrators and tried to test them, but obviously these guys are not administrators. Now I asked them how could they have the YouTuber tag like that, and they responded that the administrators had changed the requirements for 3 months of activating your mitosis channel. Which is a lie, as I had said before. At the time of recording this video, I have found more than 1 account with a YouTuber tag. As you can see, these accounts have a link to a YouTube channel. Even one pretends to be a YouTuber. All of these accounts do not meet the requirements except for one of them meets the requirements, which would be the YouTube channel called Sapine that uploads mitosis content. And the truth is that it is a shame that the administrators continue abusing in the game, and they do not plan to make a change. Not giving to people who really deserve the YouTuber tag and giving the tag to anyone they choose. In conclusion, if the creator Andrea does not clean up the administrators, or the game in general, never it will progress like it did in the beginning, and you will continue watching more videos like these. And well, this would be all about the topic of admin abuse in the game and everything that I have been able to compile on this topic. What do you think? What will the game have? Future forward, or will it continue the same as now? Let me know in the comments and I'll say goodbye.